Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Acrillus. We are here, DreamLeague Season 11, aka Stockholm Major, Game 3, in our best of 5 of the grand finals between two powerhouses, Vici Gaming and Virtus.Pro. What would I call? I wouldn't call them powerhouses. Based on the series, I'd call them. I don't know what to call them. I'll figure out something by the end, though. But yeah, we're here, Game 3. It's 1-1. Pretty close matches overall, though both teams have both teams have kind of established their position in like when is their time to shine, and apparently for Virtus.Pro it's somewhere after the 30-40 minute mark. Yeah, I mean Virtus. So both teams are kind of teams that have been able to play mostly to late game scenarios in most of their matches, but both teams have also shown proficiency in playing an early game scenario and being super aggressive and ending game out really fast. Vici Gaming has utilized this different strategy more so than Virtus Pro has, just because I think Vici Gaming believes Virtus Pro to be better in the late game. As we it's probably noted from game one that Vici Gaming realized, oh, if Virtus Pro like draft up a late game threat, then things are really hairy for us. Is probably what they discovered in game one, but I digress. Let's get into it. First draft here, or first wave of bans here as we get into the third game. Things might look pretty similar. If we see a Enigma ban here, then it must likely be followed by the Chen or the Pangolier, and then followed by the latter. If we're looking at Virtus Pro's bans, Magnus was included, Lifestealer was included. If I remember correctly, who else was included? It's one of the more typical bans.
10 seconds
I'm not
remaining.
too sure, but hopefully these two
Dire team's
teams
turn to ban.
diversify their bans a little bit. Obviously, there's things they want to have to
Radiant
lock
team
out,
ban.
with things like the Magnus, the Enigma, things that are really influential team fights, but also have like a decent early game. That kind of enables them to lead into that late game. So Magnus and Enigma going to be locked out from opposing sides, as Vici Gaming looking for their second ban here. Hmm. Like I said, Vici Gaming have been playing an early game composition.
10
Um,
seconds remaining.
since they've
Dire
been
team's
able
turn to
to
ban.
get Earth Spirit onto Fade both games in the last two games, they've really been pushing for that early game pressure, and both games, Vici Gaming have done really
Radiant
well.
team's turn to
First
ban.
game, they made Roger go 0-4 or 0-5, depending on when you call the laning phase to be over. But next game, same setup essentially. Tri lane in the bottom lane against the off lane duo.
Dire team's
Pasha
turn to
dies
pick.
7 times in lane. Seven, seven. Let me just say it one more time. Seven.
Radiant team's turn to pick.
Can you imagine dying 7 times in the first 10 minutes? God. He literally just had to go back into the jungle and like devour creeps constantly, which he did. But he also had to like finish off the camps and stuff. He was just not like laning. No one from Verse Pro showed up to that tower after his fifth or sixth death. But yeah, ooh, a little bit different here as Verse Pro gonna
10
change up one of
seconds
their bans and
remaining.
go for the Razor. Vici Gaming opting instead of banning the Pangolier,
5
go for the
seconds
Oracle
remaining.
ban, locking out of themselves and probably just preventing Verse Pro from taking it for first pick. So because they banned out the Oracle, the Nyx Assassin is gonna be left up since Verse Pro also haven't banned it too, which was what they banned last round, but or last game. But yeah, I mean the Nyx Assassin is really nice. Talk about it a little bit. Most likely gonna be in position 4. I've seen some people been able to play in position 3, but I wouldn't say it's the best. So it is first pick. So the priority is gonna be for its most suitable position, the fourth. Nyx Assassin does really well. Impale early game is really good. Enables you to stun, as well as just like follow up on most kills, and it's probably one of the more lethal abilities at level 1. Not to mention, you can kind of lane pretty decently with like you can use Spike Carapace to get a surprise stun on someone who doesn't know where you are. If they throw down a lot of AOE or skill shots or stuff like
Radiant
that, you can kind
team's
of run
turn to
into them
pick.
with Spike Carapace, get a stun out, and then since it doesn't do any damage to you, if it's only one hit, then you can blink out onto that person and follow up with an impale. Or you could just use Vendetta to be invis all the time and set up ganks and vision, which is most players use it for. So that's going to be an interesting choice. See how that works out, as it is one of the
Dire
new
team's
picks
turn to pick.
available in this game 3. As Vici Gaming opting for the Shadow Shaman on the second, since they are the second pick this time, and the Vengeful Spirit for Vici Gaming. The Shadow Shaman's pretty standard. Everything you want in position 4, CC, lane pressure with the with the good right click, split push with the ulti, wave clear,
Ten
large amounts of
seconds remaining.
CC, and all that not really super reliant on items. But
5 seconds left.
another thing
Don't
I haven't
freeze
noted
out.
about Shadow Shaman lately is it gets a lot of money. Compared to any other supports, you can get a lot of money with either Shock and Shadow Shaman. Since you already most of the time go Aether Lens anyways to increase your cast range, you can most of the time safely cover waves that are pushing into your tower or like
Dire
kind of
team
dead
ban.
even in the river. So it's really nice overall.
Radiant
Yeah.
team's turn to ban.
Next wave of bans comes in as the last pick on this phase. Turns out to be the Pangolier for Virtus.Pro. That's probably going to go the way of the offlaner or mid laner here for Virtus.Pro, but we're not too sure yet. But a nice timing on the pick there, as they do pick it last and immediately go with the puck ban to deny that counter pick being available, which is good.
10 seconds remaining.
I've yet to see a Pangolier that has been impeded
Five
as
seconds
much
remaining.
in a regular game as much as they have against a puck. Like puck is just so
Dire
good for
team's
stopping
turn to
Pangolier.
ban.
Dream Coil just being able to stop people in their
Radiant
tracks.
team ban.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the other bans too, though, as the Nature's Prophet is a response. Global pressure is really nice, especially with a hero that can invis. But along with that, the two picks here just indicate no real split push pressure at all. So the ADP is going to be a good option to lock out from the position 5, since you're probably looking for some way to take down objectives as a response to the Shadow Shaman.
10 seconds remaining.
Reverse Pro immediately respond with that Ursa ban, so it looks like they're playing that in
Five
advance,
seconds remaining.
just avoiding a aggressive early game combo that can lead to a very snowbally boy. So the big bear going to be left out of that. Vici Gaming using the reserve time here. If we're reading things correctly, or reading things plainly, in all likelihood, that Venge is probably the position 4. They did play offlane Venge in the first game with, I'd say, very little success. I'd say the swaps were handy in some situations, but nothing was overly pivotal about Yang's pick. So who knows? In all likelihood, the freedom to do more things in fights by being a position 4
Radiant
than a
team's
position
turn.
3
Dire
should
team's turn to pick.
allow the Venge to do more. As the last band in the second phase is going to be the Phantom Lancer from Vici Gaming, immediately going with the Brewmaster afterwards. Yeah, I mean, it's an offlaner. It's an offlaner that, like many of the offlaners in this meta, can kind of stand up on its own in the lane. Um, which makes it so that the position 4 it's
Ten
paired with
seconds
can kind
remaining.
of roam around, do other stuff, and overall not have to focus too much
Five
on
seconds remaining.
making sure the Brewmaster gets gold. Because either way, Druk and Brawler together with like the general tankiness of the Brewmaster makes it very hard for him to remove. Uh, so that's going to be a potential danger for Virtus.Pro here. But if they draft a decent carry, Primal Split shouldn't be too bad. Uh, Primal Split is very good before before the enemy carry gets BKB, but after the enemy carry gets BKB, you're pretty much just using Primal Split to run up on the back line, as well as just like disrupt and initiate the fight overall. But yeah, that's gonna be the response or the first offlane pick for Vici Gaming here. We'll see what the response is. Most likely, I mean, I'd say if First Pro weren't trying to reveal too much, then they go for their position 5 here. But it's hard to find a position 5 that works in the scenario, right? Like, you want something that can kind of tie down the Brewmaster, but also survives the Primal Split. Mm. You also want something that has a stun that can follow with Nyx Assassin, I think. I'm not too sure. Yeah,
Radiant
I would
team's
prefer it to
turn
be
to
like
pick.
that. The response actually is going to be the Disruptor. Okay, I like that. Not too bad overall. High potential for this Disruptor to get bullied, though, with the Vengeful Spirit Shadow Shaman. If they do tri-lane, that things would be really dangerous for him. But if he doesn't, and they do regular two lane assignments, then the Disruptor is pretty strong, I think.
Ten
Using
seconds remaining.
Thunder,
Dire team's turn to pick.
Thunderstrike, Thunderstrike, Thunder Slant, Thunderclap, something like that. The Disruptor Q. It's so good for lane presence and stuff. Just enables you to cast it once and do like a good amount of damage to a person, albeit over time, but still really effective. As a Terrorblade comes in for Vici Gaming as a response. deeming it a pretty good late game scenario if the Terrorblade does get farmed up. So Vici Gaming kind of taking a departure from their original strategy and instead opting for something more similar to Virtus.Pro strategy. So we'll see how these two teams butt heads. Uh, Actually, though, on the turnaround here, it does look like Virtus.Pro are opting for a more aggressive comp as they do lock in the Darks here. The Darks here is going to be an offlaner that enables Nyx Assassin to be aggressive, since you can equip him with Ion Shell and surge him so that he can get in a range for an impale.
5 seconds remaining.
So decent potential to pressure this Terrorblade in this lane. If they do tri-lane, then things get a lot more complicated, but this offlane combo looking pretty okay against the Terrorblade that was picked pretty late on in the draft. If we're looking at the overall execution of the team, the vacuum does pair well with Static Storm. It does also pair well with Rolling Thunder, as well as the occasional Impale from Nyx Assassin, since that is technically an area of effect over a straight line. But yeah, the only thing they're missing is Split Push, but that should be remedied by their carry pick here. In all likelihood, probably want something like a Troll. I wouldn't mind a Troll. A Troll against the Brewmaster is not the best, though, because you can hit yourself, right? What else is good? Jug is decent. I like Jug here. Not too bad. The only danger is getting swapped. Plus, you have the spell immunity to deny primal split damage, as well as a Shadow Shaman. But you do want something that kills that Terrorblade, though, and no one on this lineup right now for Virtus.Pro can kill that Terrorblade in late game. So
5 seconds remaining.
I'm not too sure how this is going to work out for Virtus.Pro. The Pangolier is probably their best option in terms of locking down the Terrorblade and securing a kill onto him, but they're going to need to follow up DPS, which is, in all honesty, probably just Static Storm and Nyx Assassin, as well as Ion Shell, which are all damaged over time, so going to be pretty difficult to lock down this Terrorblade. Though, if they do play right, then they'll probably just go through their, like, Vici Gaming's whole team in, like, one swing. If they do happen to go that route, but
5 seconds remaining.
We'll see what the last pick is here from Virtus.Pro. The ban's trying to be Morphling and Monkey King, so Vici Gaming are afraid of a Morphling pick here, which in all honesty is pretty good here. A very aggressive laning pick. Can also snowball really well with the Disruptor, so Vici Gaming kind of reading that Disruptor pick as an aggressive laning option, so gonna ban out the aggressive carries, as Virtus.Pro kind of responds with the same, identifying that there's like a potential for a good aggressive mid laner that can roam. So the Monkey King is locked out here, as it does actually happen to be Pangolier mid, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, 4 picks in. Offlaner is picked as Darkseer. That has to be Pangolier mid. Yeah, safe lane and mid are the only other options available. So this is probably going to be the safe lane pick, as no one is probably going to be able to want to pick up Pangolier. Not sure if the Vengeful Spirit could potentially go mid, but in all likelihood it's going to be 5 or 4, as the Troll is locked in for Virtus.Pro. Yeah, I can see why. The Brewmaster evasion is going to make things a little harder, since the Troll really doesn't benefit from hitting just one hit, but hitting multiple hits. And the DPS is going to take a huge hit if he just doesn't have a way to bypass the evasion. But yeah, the Battle Trance, I mean, Troll's been really highly valued in this meta as a carry who can have a decent aggressive laning phase, but also be really good late game with the Battle Trance, keeping him alive, regardless of whether or not he has health. But the response to that Troll is going to be the Bloodseeker from Ori. And that's going to go up against no one's Pangolier mid. So we'll see how that pans out. Rupture, also another potential counter to the Pangolier. A good choice, I'd say, overall from Ori, but pretty reliant on the melee lineup here. The Terrorblade can go range with Metamorphosis, but he is still in a relatively short range when he's Metamorphosis. So we'll see how it works, though, as Virtus.Pro have a lineup that kind of requires them to play carefully, yet aggressively. Like, your Darkseer is pretty much just going to survive the offlane regardless of what happens. If they do set up a tri lane, it is unfortunate, but it will have it is a possibility, and they have to deal with that. But the Iron Shell from the Darkseer does pretty well in like letting you lane, but also like letting you not have to like sit in lane to lane, you know. But how do these team makes so VG Gaming have a more long or like an end game comp. And the Bloodseeker and Brewmaster are kind of there to prop up their mid game, whereas the Terrorblade kind of just farms in general. Meanwhile, Virtus.Pro have a composition with a Troll Whirl and a Pangolier, so their power spikes are probably expected to be a lot faster. If he wants to keep up with the Terrorblade, though, he might have to pick up a farming item on the Troll Warlord. In all honesty, it might have to just be a Battle Fury, which will help you take down the Primal Split illusions too. Hmm. Things are gonna get weird. It's I like the Bloodseeker pick overall because it lets you lane pretty okay, decently. Like you don't have to worry about the Pangolier other than just the pressure. But Rupture is so good against Pangolier. I always forget about it too because it's not really used these days. I mean, since Puck gets banned out more and more, we're seeing more Pangolier counters, but this is probably one of the biggest of the three, or of the available ones. As we get into game 3 here, let's take a look at how the lane assignments go, but looks to be pretty typical. Could potentially be a tri lane setup for Vici Gaming here, as Ramsey's kind of come top lane with 4 people. Probably looking for responsive tri lane too.
It looked intentional.
Biggest factors of this early game. I want to see this Pasha, this boy, have a score of 0. I want this to stay at 0. I want this to stay at 0, and I want this to stay at 0. Everything else can stay the same. If these 3 stay at 0, I don't care. Like, this goes up, it's fine. This goes up, it's fine. This goes up, it's over. Like, it's not over, but I just hate having to watch Pasha die so many times. It's just so frustrating, you know? Just the fact that you're just not able to be in lane at all. I don't know. I feel like that option in Dota should be more measured, but
30 seconds to
it is how it is. As Virtus.Pro looking for a very aggressive 4-man smoke into the top Radiant Shrine here, potentially looking for the initial kill. Solo together with Roger and Ramses here don't probably have enough damage to pressure him or to kill Yang before he gets to the tower, since he doesn't have his level up yet. So can potentially get Drunken Brawler. Brownians are going to spawn. The 3-man cell on the bottom for Vici Gaming are potentially going to try and contest the top or the other dire rune. As Pasha, yep, just going to give that up. Yang gonna get pushed away here. Actually doesn't spot the 3 members of Virtus.Pro on the top. So the Yang is gonna be a bit of trouble here. Roger does have Impale, along with that Thunder Strike there from Solo. Drunken Brawler is activated by Yang, but it's already over. Yang gets picked up as first blood towards the way of Virtus.Pro. So very advantageous start for the tri-lane here for Virtus.Pro. Roger positioning by the shrine. No, you want to go up on high ground. Yeah, Yang smoked up right now. He's looking for he's looking to detect them. That was a good move by Yang. Wastes a smoke, but I think it's important that he did that. Instead of having... He committed a smoke for the temporary safety instead of using a ward, since the ward has potential to get picked off immediately. But, yeah, that's going to be the laning phase for the for the Brewmaster. An aggressive tri-lane setup here as DY actually looking for a wide flank. Rogers, unbeknownst to this, as he goes on a fade, uses Impale. Pasha is going for the... Whoa, not good. Paparazzi committed more Morphosis, so Pasha's just going to have to back off immediately. Sits in the trees aside to get XP, but DY is there to stop him. Fade also there too to try and collapse as Pasha in a bit of trouble. Does he have Surge? He does not. But Fade does not have Shackles in a lane where you want CC. Never mind. Magic Missiles up from DY to finish that off, being a very useful ability. So that's going to be the kill going the way of VG. A response kill on the Pasha. Unfortunately, Pasha didn't achieve his objective as Roger going for the long play. I think did he do the path? He went like this, right? Or maybe he went like this. I wasn't looking, actually. I think he went jungle, up and down, and then back around. But he's pulling the wave around, keeping it from reaching the lane. Is Fade going to be the one to pressure Roger off of it? Magic Missile Berry from DY too, so that's going to lock another kill down for the favor of Vici Gaming. But, I mean, he did his job. That's all they really need to do, right? Delay the wave, build it up so that it crashes into the tower for a large amount of experience for Pasha, who can really just use Ion Shell to secure the gold and stay in range for the experience as long as it's near tower. As long as he's reasonably healthy. But, yeah, that's really awkward. These lane assignments are just so... I don't know. The tri-lane is there to ensure the Terrorblade gets enough farm, but are you really worried about the aggression from Pasha and Roger? Sure, you can get like Impale and Ion Shell combo, and that is dangerous, but that's not going to happen like every single time, right? I don't know. Thinking about it If I'm thinking about it deliberately, ooh, Roger X playing another wave here, gonna get in trouble, hit by another magic missile. Is this gonna be a replay of game 1? Nope, instead gets the impale, he's out safely. Meanwhile, his mid lane here looks like the Pangolier is doing alright. Still laning decently against this Bloodseeker. As Roger actually does get picked up, thanks to Fade's Ether Shock. Oh boy. Yep. I think Roger's too used to playing in a game where people are playing really passively and not trying to position for aggressive kills, and the man's just taking punishment as a result. I mean, like, you have to play. I don't know. There's certain points where you are kind of forced into something, and I'm not really seeing it coming out from Vici Gaming onto Roger, but I guess Roger's feeling pressured to do something. Does have an invis rune from the river, spots Yang out. Yang going for that potential roam towards mid. No, instead just walking around. Gets his taunts out while he can. Level 3 compared to the Troll Ward's level 4. And 3 last hits. It's worst in the game. The offlaners are the least net worth in the game. As Dreschen out here, Blood Right to go with Shackle is going to go out to no one. Locking out a Swashbuckle, but the Impale is there from Roger to deny the kill. Not deny per se, like the same mechanic, but just keep the kill from happening. It's Pasha. Gonna get killed again. DY to go with Paparazzi, who has Metamorphosis up again, locks down that kill pretty easily. Pasha really just sitting on a tightrope with low health mixed with low defensive options. There's no one gonna take another blood right here. How's our troll boy doing? So Ramses is here. He's got 2 Wraith Bands. Drunken Brawler from Yang. Whirling Axe is in response, and that's laning phase. Wow, the Whirling Axe is causing Yang to mix more than more. So Roger gets picked up in the jungle again. Looking like a hard replay of game 1. Pasha exiled to the jungle, while Roger doing his best to roam around and maintain pressure. Bounty runes are coming up for Vici Gaming, and I say Vici Gaming because that's the only ones that are going to get these bounty runes is on the bottom. As Solo picks up that bounty rune on the top side, going to be probably a 2-2 even trade. DY feeling himself a little bit, pressuring Pasha off of the camps here. The ware's down there to spot him. TP out into the top tier 1 to try and prevent Yang from going down. But he's already down. Ramsey's collecting up on that kill. As Solo potentially looking for a return to the fight. Nope, just instead gets shackled, blocked by the creep wave from exiting the tree line. So he's going to be stuck there for a while. So another TP comes out from Yang, returning back from his previous death. But not in time to collect the XP. It's DY and Fade. Get the gold for kill on Solo. Lot of kills going out the way of Vici Gaming now. Same as the last 2 games, which I didn't expect, considering they have the Terrorblade option. Yep, Vici Gaming made a different choice here. They decided to maintain some their early game aggression and continue to pressure hard, but the Air Spirit is not the option they chose. Instead, they choose things that have more utility and have the ability to function in different waves in case the game doesn't shape out the way they want it to. But 3 members of Virtus.Pro positioning around the bot lane. The troll looks to be pretty safe. Yep, Ramses is looking pretty good. Has battle trance already. Sunder's available for Paparazzi. Never mind, does not have the level in it yet. Deciding whether or not it's worth it getting Sunder level 6. But Roger going to be the one here. Sprint onto him. Paparazzi going to get locked up in that kinetic field. Does have Sunder available now. Going to be able to use it on Pasha as the Blood Right comes down to go with that Rupture on the Roger. A good turnaround from Vici Gaming. Textbook. Textbook is what I call it. Rupture is committed though, so 60 seconds without that against the Pangolier. Could be an opportunity for no one to utilize his Rolling Thunder. But the 2 supports are mid from Vici Gaming. Possibly could be a rotation from Solo here to support. Yeah, really just making sure that no one doesn't get jumped on here. Is Yang gonna get picked up again? A solo kill out from Ramses this time. Instead, no help coming to him. Because it could have been a decent kill, but Battle Trance was still also available, so yeah. That's a good play by the troll though. Pressuring enough to outlane the offlaners. Just crazy. Yeah, good on him. That puts him up at a decent net worth, but Vici Gaming are still ahead because of these kills. The Terrorblade's at almost 4k net worth. Bloodseeker's about 3,700. As the Darkseer is pretty much at the same pace as the Brewmaster, so the offlaners are really around the same level. Solo gonna get aggressed on here. The kinetic fields are trying to deny the entryway, but the shackles are there to lock him in place. Bloodright is also there to silence him with some damage. Or are you gonna go for the dive here, where your other supports? Oh my gosh! Instead, the glimpse comes out from Solo to put Ori back at tower range. No one's gonna come in for the TP. Just pump fake Rolling Thunder in order to defend, reduce the swashbuckler to get out of there, so he's fine. But there are 4 members of Vici Gaming here looking for a kill. Solo going to use the defensive kinetic field. Rupture out on a no one who channels Rolling Thunder. He's too low. The Rupture is a perfect counter as the last hit from the Terrorblade is just... Do they think about that too? What if they pick... hear me out. What if they thought about it and they... As the tips go out on him, yeah. He's going to get countered from every single Rolling Thunder from now on. I highly doubt that he'll have any opportunity to use it. We'll probably maybe go for a Yule Scepter or a Blink Dagger this game. Probably, in order to just kind of escape that and make it a little easier. As Ramses rotated to the bottom lane, now looking for a kill on a DY, trying to press past the towers. The Bloodright comes down. That's not going to hit him as the Silence misses its mark. Whirling Ash is available too. As Ori trying to look for a return kill. Primal Split committed by Yang, so this is going to be a big fight. The stun is there into Ramses, immediately locking him out of Balch Trance. Posh is going to have to use his Surge in order to try and escape, but the Storm Bear is there to lock him up in a Tornado. Secures the kill. So that's 2 kills away of Vici Gaming. Not good overall. Things are pretty bad. Virtus.Pro not looking too good now, as the only thing they had going for them was the kills that they're garnering, and Vici Gaming outdo them there. It's going to be questionable as to how this game's going to go. I think no one's pretty useless now since the Rupture is available. He just has to... If no one wants to be productive as a mid laner right now, he needs to like get to a place where he can fight without this Bloodseeker being there. And that's going to be really hard considering the vision is pretty sparse out from Virtus.Pro here. Yeah, as the bounty runes spawning in 15 seconds, Vici Gaming positioning with a 3-man cell for the bottom runes. Virtus.Pro not looking for the top runes. Could potentially get it cut off by DY here as DY goes for an aggressive ward. Ramses is by his lonesome looking for the ward or the rune here. Yang could possibly intercept. Instead decides to play passive and let Ramses go. Because they're not really in a position to punish. Too close to the tower. Yeah, but things are looking pretty bad for Virtus.Pro. If they need anything, they need Ramses to catch up. And they need no one to be more productive as the mid laner. Like, there's nothing he can do right now thanks to the Rupture, denying the Rolling Thunder, so he has to find some other way to be useful. He could also just, like, get a Linken's. I mean, he has to rush Linken's, right? Maybe he rushes Lotus Orb. I'd be interested to see a Lotus Orb being run, but, who knows? No one. Gonna use his Ion Shell, get some, gold from these farms here. As a 4-man. Up on top lane by Virtus.Pro, recognizing they kind of need to up the tempo here and potentially looking for a pick, along with the tower push. Troll is really the only thing they have available for split push, so that's the only option for them, as the sentry not going to get killed by DY. Simon mid though, Fade gets committed on with the Rolling Thunder to get with the Static Storm. Rupture is out on a no one, who does have Bloodright on him as well. TP channel is going to be successful as Ori escapes, but the Thirst is available, so that's going to let him chase Solo down. Solo all the way over towards the top bounty rune for the Dire. Should be relatively safe as Pasha is there to assist. Kinetic Field, gonna block him out as DY does not get swap out. Swap is available though, as is Primal Split. Sunder should also be available. Metamorphosis committed in order to get this tower, so Virtus.Pro will have to leave that to Vici Gaming to claim. But yeah, I mean, Virtus.Pro have to play from behind here, which is not favorable since you have a mid laner that doesn't really power farm at all. And you don't have ways to get towers down quickly, so your gold lead is, the gold lead is just going to get wider and wider as Vici Gaming press closer and closer to the map as Roger. Does have Vendetta now, looking to get as much vision as he can in this aggressive side of the map that Vici Gaming have established. But just looking to get some vision. Not really trying to walk into a sentry ward that he knows is there, so he decides to dip on out of there. How's Ramses doing? Ramses has, yep, just gonna go for that Battle Fury here. As Paparazzi should opt for Yasha with the Manta style. Yeah, that's probably gonna be the best option. Is it though? Anti-style denies the blind from that, but I don't know. I would have possibly considered like BKB, Yasha, or Yasha BKB. It's probably the more appropriate distribution, but I guess he just wants to have as much damage as possible. I'm not really concerned about the pick potential here unless he mistakes or makes a mistake. But Vici Gaming using their advantage now to press into the jungle. Smokes up on multiple members here as Ramses is in the area. Could potentially get punished here. Smoke pops though. He managed to spot Fade on the high ground as the Rupture is committed. Ramses does have Battle Trance too. Blood Rage is missing his mark. Serpent Ward's committed together with Primal Split as the Rolling Thunder does not have Rupture available to counter. But the Rupture is there onto Ramses. He's just going to get run around. The Rolling Thunder is going to claim one on the Fade, but the return from Roger should potentially result in his death as the Impale. Oh, lands on 3 members. A nice vacuum in. Rory looking really low as the swap goes out into Roger. Pasha going to get picked up by Yang's Drunken Brawler, but Ori's stuck in a Static Storm. Sunder from him. Paparazzi saving his mid laner. A nice play from him as the rest of the members of Virtus.Pro just trying to get out. Ori going to get clips back as, wow. That was not good for Virtus.Pro there. That's very not good. So things are looking very dicey here for Virtus.Pros. They are a team that really needs to be in the lead here. So the composition from Vici Gaming is so nice, right? Like because they have 2 very aggressive supports to establish the pressure for the Terrorblade so that the Terrorblade has farm. And they set up the other lanes where Yang, I mean, if he dies, it doesn't really matter. Like, offlane deaths aren't super important, as we've noted from the last 2 games where Pasha has gone 0-7 and Roger's gone 0-4 in 2 different games. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at the score now. 0-5, 0-4. I may see a possible wink link here. Yeah. I mean, they did do the tri lane, and Roger didn't immediately go in the lane with Pasha, so that's also another thing, but in all honesty, I really expect more from the off lane of Virtus.Pro. Like, you shouldn't be dying that much. Come on, be real. Like, Yang has died 3 times, man. The guy who died to a troll warlord died less times than you did. He learned his lesson. But anyways, I digress. It's annoying, but it happens. Such is Dota, but yeah, now that Paparazzi was freed up, that allows mid lane Ori to really just take advantage of his advantageous matchup, and then you have 2 winning lanes, and both those winning lanes rotate out to fight, and they have natural built counters against their lane opponents, so that's really not good. Yeah, the Terrorblade was a good choice here because there's a hard lack of CC on Virtus.Pro, other than like the Nyx Assassin, as Vici Gaming potentially looking to collapse onto no one. The Rupture is available, but out of range. As we're looking to trade towers, Ramsey's going to pick up the first tier 1 here for Virtus.Pro. As Vici Gaming potentially positioning on the tier 2. The scan is out behind the tower to indicate that there are no members of Virtus.Pro behind this tier 2. So this in all likelihood is going to be a free tower going the way of Vici Gaming. A nice use of the illusions by Paparazzi to aggro the tower away. Not successful that time, but still gets the tower nonetheless, as 2 TPs down towards the bottom lane. Ramses has to leave here, but the Primal Split is committed early. The Earth Bear going to get in range. Never mind, it's going to be the Storm Bear together with that Tornado. Bloodright going to mind its mark. Battle Trance not available yet, as the Bloodright silence is still on him. The stun is going to be there too, and that's going to lock another kill down. Ramses making a slight mistake, as it could be the same mistake on a Paparazzi. He escapes the kinetic field as no one misses a Rolling Thunder hit. The Glimpse going to go back on a Paparazzi, put him back in tier 1 tower, and there's going to be an unsuccessful kill onto the carry for Virtus.Pro. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you just don't have any way of killing him, right? Like, every single one of your damages isn't burst. And you need some sort of way to just finish that guy off. You need burst or hard CC, or a combination of both against the Terrorblade, and neither are existent here. How did this draft shape up? It was the Nyx pick first, followed by the Pangolier Disruptor pick. If I were Virtus.Pro, I would have liked the Bane. Right? Nah. No, the team fights are too disruptive. They need something that has like immediate results, like an instant stun or like something like Avenge or something like that, similar to that. But they just needed some form of CC to lock the Terrorblade down. Like, if you're guaranteed to win the Brewmaster matchup, which I mean you pretty much are, it's Troll against Brewmaster and you Disruptor, and they set up a tri lane, so you're guaranteed to win that matchup. The problem is the off lane, and they've lost their off lane 3 games in a row, so. Ugh. I mean, at the very least, they can afford to lose one. And that'll be the turning point probably for Virtus.Pro to try something different as the smoke comes out. Spotting Yang. Yang manages to spot members of Virtus.Pro, but DY doesn't pay attention. Walks straight into them. That's going to be kill going the way of Virtus.Pro. Rupture out into no one, so he can't channel Rolling Thunder. He's going to have to stay in the pit as Pasha seems to be isolated here. No one can use the swashbuckle to escape the pit. Takes damage from the Rupture too, but no casualties on the side of Virtus.Pro yet. A nice vacuum over the Roshan pit to put members of Vici Gaming behind the pit, but the thirst is there from Ori. He's fast as a NASCAR. Looking to just hunt down kills now as no one also not thirsted, but Solo is. So he gets picked up by Ori. A nice collected kill from the Bloodseeker there. 6k lead from Vici Gaming. To put this into context, there's a 6k lead for Vici Gaming in game 1 when they were 10 kills above their opponents at, I think, 25 minutes? I believe so, somewhere around there. It was a later gold lead. Like, they were sitting around 1 to 2k gold lead for the longest time because Virtus.Pro still had access to farm and were still being able to collect on gold and stuff like that, but now they're just completely locked out. And things are going to get worse as Roshan is going to be attempted here. Vici Gaming going to pretty easily go the way over of Paparazzi or Ori. Most likely be Paparazzi, yep. He's going to be on the front lines more often. Ori probably just going to sit in the back and wait for no one to use his Rolling Thunder. It's really important that the Rolling Thunder doesn't go off. It comes less and less important in team fights as people start getting spell immunity, but in the early game it's super pivotal. No one positioning here. Roger actually is Vendetta, so he could potentially look for a fight as they try to defend this tier 2. Ramses is also in the area as the swap goes out immediately with the dust on his solo. That's going to be immediately kill picked up onto him. Roger in the area did not get tagged by the dust, so he's still looking pretty, but that's going to guarantee the tier 2 tower going the way of Vici Gaming. Now, Virtus probably need to find a pick here, but Yang spots out Roger. The ping goes out. Does notice him. But, yeah, I don't know what else they can do. Virtus.Pro need to find some way to get back into this game, but the Pangolier isn't necessarily the pick you want to play to a mid to late game scenario. You want that Pangolier to be effective more early on. I don't know. It's not shaping out to be what it is as Fade potentially trying to look for no one there, but the Pangolier is slippery, so he'll get out of there safely. Ramses, are you going to make the same mistake again? No one did spot members of Vici Gaming on top of the high ground there. The bounty runes have spawns. Ramses has to play safe in order to respect it. Does get spotted by Yang in the trees here. So Serp ones are committed towards the top, or the bottom dire bounty rune. Roger going to get spotted out there, so he gets picked off. Spiked Carapace not going to save him as Ramses tries to TP out. Primal Split committed, so the Earth Bear is going to be able to pick up on that kill. His Battle Trance is all committed by Ramses. That's not going to do anything as he CC'd forever, and that's going to be another kill going the way of Vici Gaming. Ay, ay, ay. 800 going the way of them, 2 kills in favor of none. The story of this game here. As the first 20 minutes of every single game clearly belongs to the way of Vici Gaming. Every single game. Virtus.Pro need to do something about this early game. They need to stop it, they need to fight back, they need to play passively better. I don't know. In all senses, I think both teams are making adjustments, and these adjustments are getting them the edge in these games, but it's just... It was like I said earlier in Game 2, if you do something multiple times, you're just going to get called out on it, and it's going to be harder and harder for you to execute. And Virtus.Pro take like an approach that is typical of the meta, but I feel like Vici Gaming have pretty much just like already have counters planned out for the current meta. And since I don't know, I can't really reason as to why Virtus.Pro went with the specific comp. Like, I feel like it's very weak in general, especially if you get countered. And they put high priority on banning out the puck and making sure that the Pangolier was pretty much uncontested, but forgot the Bloodseeker. Didn't really set up for a composition that could fare against the Bloodseeker well. So that's going to be an issue overall for them. It's going to be even worse as if Ori picks up his BKB soon. Yeah, does have drums here with Maelstrom, so he's gonna be left for farm as Rupture gonna go immediately onto Ramses. He's in trouble here. Bloodbright Silence secured onto him to get with that swap is gonna lock his kill down almost immediately. BKB committed from Ori here into the backline is DUI and Ori gonna pick up solo first. Pasha gonna be the next casualties. Roger's just making it away with his life here. The Vendetta gonna be used as a dust is popped, and that's gonna spot him. So that's gonna be another kill of the way as VP call GG 22 minutes into this game. Oh man, that's a headache and a half. Not The typical grand finals performance you'd like to see here as Vici Gaming close out game 3 very convincingly. What on earth was that? Imagine playing against a comp that has a Terrorblade as the safe lane carry and losing in 22 minutes. How does that happen? That's crazy. I don't know. Who knows, man? But yeah, that's gonna be it for game 3. If you want a basic summary, Virtus.Pro got stomped, hard countered mid, offlane did what they did every single game and died more than 5 times. They fed the safe lane. Like, if Virtus.Pro they need to fix this offlane. The offlane is the only thing making this team like collapse. If Virtus.Pro have a decent offlane that doesn't die 5 times in the first 10 minutes, then you have a game, you know? You have a game where the safe lane carry isn't unlocked to just sit there and farm constantly. You have a game where the 2 supports that have been tri-laning with him are now unlocked to go across the map and help out everyone else. And you have a game where you're just sitting there, having to sit in your jungle, using like 600 gold worth of sentry wards, just make sure your vision is cleared and you're safe to go into your own jungle. It's crazy. I don't know. I just feel like the things Vici Gaming are doing are super proactive, and Virtus.Pro's attempts are pretty reactive. They did win the last game though, so maybe Virtus.Pro have a different adjustment to make. But anyways, that's game 3. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna move on to the rest of this series as it is 2-1. Hopefully Virtus.Pro get us to game 5, but by the looks of this, it's not looking very convincing. But yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys in game 4. That's it for now. Peace.